Welcome, everybody, to the Blood, Saint, and Beers podcast. I'm your host, BloodThunder, of co-hosts, Mr. Saintmillion.
What's up?
Yeah.
This is the 10th take.
It's only like the 7th, you know. We're professionals at this, really.
Yes.
Long time on the internet, as they say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so BT.
Yeah, go for it.
This is the first show of this podcast. Could you explain to listeners what this show is all about?
Show's about absolutely nothing and absolutely everything at the same time.
It's true.
It's a podcast to talk about games, movies, TV shows, ourselves, losing weight, news.
Oh, yeah. Fitness.
Racism, Trump, you know, all those hard-hitting topics.
Feminism.
Bigotry.
Meninism.
Just anything politics, really. This is what we're all about here.
Just politics, because we're professionals.
So are you more liberal or more Republican? Or are you
a
liberal a pelican? Yeah.
I'm a middleman, I'd like to say.
So for those that don't know you, who are you, Saint?
Oh, man.
Tough hitting questions.
BT came to me in a private message on Discord, and we go back probably like 4 years now. 3 or 4 years. We met at Summer Games Done Quick 2015, which is a speedrunning event. We both got into speedrunning for many, many years now, and it's kind of been our main hobby, even though we branch off sometimes, playing different kinds of games and stuff like that, multiplayer games. But what I do is I've been speedrunning for the past few years, and I kind of branched off in my hobbies. Sometimes I like to skateboard. Sometimes I like to make YouTube videos, like critical videos on video games or Star Wars shit. I like Star Wars. I'll be the Star Wars guy.
That's great, because I kind of indifferent to Star Wars, so.
Well, you're going to need to watch every single Star Wars movie.
Oh, I don't want to watch Solo.
Ironically, that's one of the least offensive new Star Wars movies amongst all of them. But yeah, just being a slightly above average gamer, and I like to make YouTube videos and talk about shit. And BT, I guess, also wants to talk about shit. So BT.
Yeah, I love talking about absolutely nothing and absolutely everything at the same time.
There we go.
Yeah, for those that don't know me, also speedrunner. And for those that don't know what speedrunning is, it's just playing through games very quickly. It's kind of nerdy, but it's kind of fun at the same time. It's pretty much
a good challenge.
It's not how I started stuff online, but it's how most people know me these days. I'm trying to branch off into other things, but it's a little difficult, as it always is.
Now, how did you start online? Where did BloodThunder, where was he born?
I don't even...
When did you make that alias? Let's talk about our first time making our aliases.
This is not my first alias online. It's not the first one. No. I don't even know.
What was your first... Do you remember your first handle?
My first handle I used for online games was Card or Dice. So I thought like Magic was cool. And I thought like card tricks and like cardistry. I was like, oh, cards are cool. And then like dice are for gambling.
In some alternate universe, you're a magician.
Yeah, I mean,
some description.
I mean, I can
Chris Angel.
Yeah, Mind Freak.
Mind Freak.
Yeah, it's like watching
I could
see Full Us or whatever. I was like that. I never put in the time and practice to get good at card tricks. But like shuffling them, I watched a lot of poker back then. They always like the little chip stuff.
Oh my god, you could have been a professional.
Yeah, I mean, I still can be. Professional poker career starts now. Actually know some professional poker players.
This is a poker podcast, so
yeah,
it's understandable.
I think it went from that handle. I think it went to Bloody Nachos. I don't remember the reasoning behind it, but I like nachos. I don't know why that became the handle. And then
when did
I kept the blood part of that? I don't remember if something in high school, like for freshman year, every class had to put on a show for the entire school. And my friends group had those little stick horses, like a stick and a horse head. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course.
And I think one of them called it BloodThunder. Like that was his horse.
Oh my god!
I was like, that's a cool name, and I like the blood's already part of mine.
Name I have ever heard in my life.
It's been a while since high school, but pretty sure that's the story. It's the one I've
That's
stuck
pretty
to
good.
all this time.
Yep. Upgraded from nachos to thunder.
I found a better one, a better backstory. That is not at all how it happened, but I like it, which I like to tell myself it happened. If I could go back and erase it, that'd be it.
The Mastodon song?
No, I didn't even know about Mastodon until like I don't know how long after. You. I didn't like. I didn't get into hard rock and metal until like senior year of high school.
Really? Oh my god.
Well,
interesting.
Kind of like sophomore, junior, but that was like Metallica and Megadeth and kind of the intro stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you come into not just gaming?
How did I come into age?
How did you come into your balls? How did you come into speedrunning and gaming? Kind of like what was that path for Bloody Nachos?
Do we want to go that far back? It goes back to like 2010. Actually, it'd go.
I guess we don't have to. It might be a little too long. Tell me about your childhood.
I'll just go back to when I signed up for Twitch, which is the platform that we use. Although there's Mixer.
That's probably a good jumping off point.
Is Hitbox still a thing? I don't even know. I think it's Stream.me now.
Yeah.
But I essentially got into Twitch through Minecraft back in 2011. Who doesn't love Minecraft? Yep. I just saw. First time seeing it, there was like nobody online. Nobody used Twitch back in 2011. I went the Minecraft directory. I was like, oh, these people are cool, and just hung out in there. I was like, I'll try streaming. I got on my really shitty laptop I had back then. Just awful. I don't know how it ran anything. Ran Minecraft at like 15 FPS. Low so details. Sad. I streamed off of it while playing the game at the same time.
Okay.
And then through that, I found it's like random channels of speedruns and stuff. And I was like, I can do this. And then took off from there. There's a lot more to it, but I think just to save some time for you to talk about shit,
Sure. And for reference, Hitbox.tv is now Smashcast.tv, which I have never even heard of. But
what is Stream.me? Is that owned? That became them?
Owned did become Hitbox.tv. I'm not sure what Stream.me is.
I'm gonna have to go look it up. Well, but if you tell your tale of how you became the Mr. Million.
So back in around 2010, I guess that's when I'll start it. I graduated high school in 2009, and I didn't really do shit. I didn't go to college or anything. I just kind of worked and played games, and I started YouTubing in 2010. And it didn't really go anywhere, but I started a bunch of I was a huge fan of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. So when Dark Souls came out, yes. Well, I was a big fan of Demon Souls before this whole thing. Whatever. I'm a hipster. But I did a bunch of Dark Souls videos that were just like challenge playthroughs. I would not level up a thief and just play through the whole game, put it online and edit it for lulls and crazy moments. And that was kind of fun. And I did modded videos. I would mod some costumes to look like Link from Zelda. I'm like, oh, this is my Link playthrough of Dark Souls. Nice. And I just kind of did stupid shit like that. And one day, I was always a challenge gamer. That's pretty much all I did. I was trying to play games that I really liked and just try to do some sort of challenge.
I think that's what got me. I found that before speedruns, I think. A lot of Legend of Zelda stuff had the Uber challenge and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think of I knew time trials were modes in games. And I thought it was kind of cool, but I was like,
it was pretty much like racing games.
Yeah.
And I knew trials and Ghost.
Yeah, and I knew task speedruns were a thing, tool assisted speedruns, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And one day, just for some reason, in 2013, I think, late 2013, maybe even 2012, I Googled for a speedrun of Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero for N64.
Nice.
Because I was thinking about replaying it, and I remembered how bad that game was. So I was like, I'll just look up a speedrun. So I watched a tool-assisted speedrun of it, and that game sucks. But my recommended videos for YouTube were all AGDQ 2013 VODs or whatever the last AGDQ was. And I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. And there's a huge community behind it. And there's SDA forums, there's people talking about all kinds of games. And I found Fantasy Star Online and Jet Set Radio and all these old games I really liked. And that's kind of how I got into it. My handle at the time was Babam Kamikaze, which is
Bomb Kamikaze.
Babam Kamikaze, which is from Mario.
Nice.
But I thought Baboms were hilarious, and I was like, Babam
You
Kamikaze.
say
That's my
bomb? I always called it bombs.
Bomoms.
Yeah.
It's BOBOMB.
Isn't it like dash OMB?
No, shut up.
Okay.
I don't know, but I was Babam Kamikaze, and it was a really long name. And I was like, this is a bit of a long name, and it's been a while since I changed my name. So I named myself Moddex, MODDEX,
Is that
which
after
was a name
anything?
after. It was
Okay.
a name after a famous rogue ganker in World of Warcraft on one of the servers I played on. He like always ganked people in like this low level area. He was a real dickhead.
Is it
So
just
I
like
thought it was
killing them?
hilarious.
I never played World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
So.
ganking is like you're really high level and you go
Mhm.
to a low level territory of the other faction and you just like kill people while they're trying to
Okay.
quest and shit.
Gotcha.
And he was notorious, and I thought it was hilarious because he was a gnome. And I was like, Modex, I'm just gonna steal that name.
Nice.
And that went on for like a month before I was like, that's stupid. This is a stupid name. I'm gonna pick a boss from Fantasy Star Online. I picked Saintmillion, who's a boss from Fantasy Star Online, and just happens to also be a
Oh.
vineyard in France for wine.
Oh, nice.
So, faded alcoholic.
Yeah, as time's gone on, I've realized not Blood Thunder, but Blood and Thunder is the name of quite a few different things. That
Yeah.
does not help with the search results at all. There's like some roller derby magazine that's Blood and Thunder. There's
my branding.
There was a band, like they put out like one album called Blood and Thunder, and they had a really cool shirt with like a werewolf and stuff on it. It's like, you know what? It's sort of close. I'll go and buy it. It's like $15. I placed an order. Like 2 months later, I still hadn't gotten any shipping detail, and I had like refund it and go through this huge process. I was like, God damn it! I'm trying to support this band and no one's heard of. And they can't ship me a single shirt.
Dickheads.
Yeah. And then there's like a Thor comic, just Blood and Thunder. And the song. There's just so many things.
Rain and Blood. And then Mastodon's literal Blood Thunder song.
Mm-hmm. Which people ask me about all the time. I've had people use that as an insult in multiplayer games.
Classic Mastodon.
Yeah.
It's your code name. Yeah. Branding can be a bitch, but whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it took us a hot hour to come up with our podcast title.
Yeah. We were shooting ideas back and forth for a good hour, and there were some interesting results.
I think half of them we can't say.
Yeah. for copyright reasons.
And the fact that we're just going to use them later in something else.
Yes.
Our next project.
Definitely. That's the reason. So yeah, that's some history on us. We have done GDQ runs. That's probably where most people might have already heard us from.
Do you know how many you've done at this point?
I've done 3 so far. You've done a lot more than me.
Yeah, I've lost count.
You've probably done like
13 or 14.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 or 14. Where's some games you've done at GDQ so people can know where to watch you?
I think I can get through this in order.
Oh.
I think.
Well,
so
by all means.
10 events, I think it might count at 10 different ones. One happens, there's AGDQ and like January, usually the first or second week. Then there's SGDQ, which is Summer Games Done Quick, in June, July, kind of changes dates. So I've been to 5 of each. There's one coming up pretty soon. Actually, this Friday is the next games list.
Yes.
I believe this games list schedule comes later.
Yeah, they're just releasing the games list on Friday.
If you've been on Twitch, you've probably seen them, know what they are. But I'm not gonna say the event, but BioShock, Quantum Conundrum. Already lost track. BioShock 2, Broforce, Fear, Quantum Conundrum again, Wolfenstein: The New Order, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, Wolfenstein: The New Order, BioShock, Doom. I Am Bread, Dishonored 2. I already lost track. Last AGDQ.
I Am Bread just out of nowhere in that list.
Yeah, it's one I wanted to get in forever. There's a terrible showing, but that's a different. Doom. And then whatever I just did plus GDQ. Penumbra. I think
How do you not know?
It's
Even I remember.
5 years worth of stuff I don't remember.
Yeah. how it goes.
Yep. They're always. I always think they're way worse than they are. I'd never go back and watch any of them.
I don't either. That's a impressive list you got there though.
Yeah.
Long time.
Hoping to continue it on Friday.
Yeah. It's fun.
Eh.
Do you like running at GDQs? I take it you enjoy it.
At first, it was about getting the games in and just going to show them off. So I didn't really know anybody or have any real friends at the events that I knew of. So I knew people online, but they didn't go to the events, or they're just people that watched. Now it's kind of the opposite. The run's just kind of a reason to be there instead of hanging out with friends, which it is now. So, I mean, even if I don't get a run in, which I hope so, I think I have a good chance, I'd still go at this point. But
yeah, me too.
I think at this point, maybe only PJ has a longer streak than me of like getting a game in every GDQ, and he's like 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people with like more games, but when they were there, like when it started, everyone ran like 6 games at a time. So
yeah, because they had so little amount of people when it first started.
Yeah, I think like Rom Scout and Mike have like 40, 60 games or something.
Yeah. And every year, speedrunning just gets bigger and bigger. Even though it's still pretty small overall, it's very niche, little hobby.
I think it's to the point where most people on Twitch know GDQs if you say that, or if they've been on it.
Yes,
I've been introduced to friends of friends that way. Like, oh, this is the guy that ran BioShock. And like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
like it's kind of weird, but not
for sure.
I'd say it's way less of people actually doing runs or doing more than one run outside of a major title. Like, I like speed runs. I'll pick up this one individual game, Mario, Zelda, Sonic, Celeste, something like that, and then that's all they run, and that's all they're into.
Yeah, everyone has a different approach to speedrunning. It's not always just a person picks up a game and tries to get best possible time. There's people who just want to pick their one game that they want to speedrun just because they love that game. There's people who just want to route and like find strats. And there's people who actually want to run as many games as possible. It's very varying. So,
yeah, it's a wide variety.
Yes.
But, yeah, we'll just see when the games list comes out on Friday. What the event's gonna look like.
And GDQs are actually how we met.
It is.
Which is pretty.
I think the funny thing is we were both at GDQs before we met.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
We totally were at AGDQ 2014 and just never met. That's actually one of the GDQs I went to. I submitted a game, but it didn't get in. I think I submitted Demon Souls and Jet Set Radio, but they both got rejected. But I was like, I'm just going to go anyways and try to meet people. And I didn't fucking hang out with anyone. I was just like, this is weird. I don't really know many people. I'm awkward.
That was the first time. It's a weird story to that one too. First time traveling by myself, and it was the worst travel experience I've ever had.
Oh my God, do tell.
So it was a huge winter storm like the week of, or like the week before. And I was supposed to fly out, I guess on Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. It's been 5 years. And it was completely fine weather-wise. Plane could have taken off, but the assistant pilot didn't show up. So they couldn't take off. No one could find them. It was delayed like hours, nothing. They apparently couldn't get another pilot. So like, yeah, it's canceled. Like, okay. Flight will go out the next day. Well, it snowed that night. And it was going to be canceled for, I think I was supposed to go out Saturday, and it was delayed up until Monday. So like Sunday night, once it got canceled because of the weather, I was like, I just want to be up there. Just because first time traveling by myself. It's an event I really wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So I got on a Greyhound bus that night. And
oh my God.
At this point, I'd been up since like 8 a.m. and I got on the bus at like 8 p.m. and it was going to take 16 to 18 hours to get there. So I didn't sleep at all on the buses. Had to get off every like 2 hours or so to swap. For those that haven't been on Greyhound buses, they make like stops for like 30 minutes and you have to get off and get back on.
Yeah.
super just terrible. And then I get to like the DC metro station, which, as I find out, is quite a ways away from where the hotel was.
Yeah.
So I hop in a cab. I'm like, this is the place I need to go to. He's like, okay. So he starts driving. First time being in a taxi as well.
Oh my god.
Like at all. Not even just by myself.
Bloody Nacho's first trip
Yeah.
into the world.
So he pulls up to like this hotel, and I'm looking at it. I'm just like, this is not the right address. He's like, you sure? And I show him again. He's like, oh no, you want a different spot. I'm like, yes, this is not where I'm supposed to be. So he starts driving back to the metro to drop me off for a different cab or something, because it was like super. He wanted to take me because it was so far away. So like,
oh shit.
He's driving back and he sees another taxi next to him in the street, and he rolls down the window and like screams over to this other taxi driver, and he's like, will you take him to this like spot? The guy's like, yes. So I hop out of that cab. I didn't have to pay. It was just like the wrong place, thankfully.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's nice.
Maybe I did.
That would have been.
No. I might have given him $5. I don't remember. So I grabbed my stuff.
That's shitty.
I just had back then I just carried a backpack with all my clothes and everything I needed for the week. I just like rolled up my shirts and just stuck them in there. So I grab that and I hop into the other cab. I show him the address, he puts it in, takes me. It's like $100 cab fare.
Shit.
To get there. And then I show up. I'm like super awkward because it's the first time meeting people online. I'm just like standing in the back. And I meet up with like the Borderlands 2 guys at the time, like I Misty.
Oh yeah, guys. Probro and T-Rex.
Yeah, and Judgy and everybody. I was just like standing there. So I like wanted to install my games, but I didn't want to interrupt them, and I was too socially awkward to introduce myself. I'd been in their chats, they knew who I was. Like 30 minutes go by, and they're like, "Oh, you're BloodThunder." So I talked to like some staff about like installing the games or whatever. And then like as I sit down to start installing it, if you go back and watch EGDQ 2014 or know about it, someone pulled the fire alarm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was right as I was installing my games after being awake for who knows how long traveling this way. So I go stand out in the cold like another 30 minutes. And
we probably walked right by each other.
Yeah, I just wanted to sleep so bad. And I was standing out in the freezing cold, and it was just like, it couldn't get any worse than that, really.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. That was my first time traveling by myself. And it's like, what? Nowadays, it's like, okay, if it happens, I'm prepared. I'm ready.
It's really unfortunate. At least you got the worst possible roll of the dice.
Yeah.
So now every other trip is going to seem very, very nice.
It also taught me, like, anytime I get super excited about something happening within, like, the next week, like, it's going to go wrong. Something happened, like, literally yesterday. Like, a huge music festival, like, all this weekend just got canceled because of the rain.
That sucks.
It's like telling a kid that Christmas got canceled. It's like, what?
Who was going to play?
It's 3 days worth of music. It's called Louder Than Life here. But, like, the grounds are so soaked. They say it's going to take, like, $500,000 to repair the park because of all the damage.
Shit.
Yeah, it's...
What, from rain?
Yep, from all the rain.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
or something?
It's super close to the river. So it's like, it has water, but like if the water keeps rising because it keeps raining here, it'll not help at all. And it's like they can't dry off the ground. It's a huge, huge spot. I don't know how many people go, but it's like tens of thousands.
Said $500,000.
$500,000 to $1 million to repair it.
Jesus.
I don't know if that's in terms of like labor and moving stuff or what it is, but
probably like tilling the land. I don't know anything about anything.
I don't know how to repair a park.
I'm not a construction man.
Yeah, but it's a huge rock and roll fest.
Yeah, we
looking forward to seeing Deftones for the first time. That would have been cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, maybe next year.
CKY and Necrogoblicon are going on tour soon. People probably don't know who the second one is.
I know the name. I haven't listened to them.
Necrogoblicon's great. If you like Horse the Band, if you know who they are, I think you probably like Necrogoblicon.
I don't think I do.
Horse the Band is another band that a lot of people probably don't know. I'll just stop.
This segment of the show, bands you've never heard of before.
CKY is going to be touring but I think it's going to be without their lead singer, who they've always had, because he branched off to do his own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
CKY came here a couple months ago. I didn't go because I was just busy at the time, but I had friends who went and they said it was kind of a letdown. Like everybody went
yeah,
for the bands that opened for him, and when CKY came on, they left. So it wasn't impressive. So
yeah, it's unfortunate because their lead singer went off to do his own music projects with a bunch of different bands, and the guitarist
like
for
Horse.
CKY stepped up. No, not Horse bands. The guitarist Chad Ginsburg, he stepped up to do vocals, and I guess it's just not working out,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
it is.
But what are you gonna do?
Go
So
play for the band Horse. So that's my new goal in life.
Horse band. Horse the band.
Is it what they're called? Horse the band.
Horse the band. That's their name.
Okay, I'm gonna hit them up on Twitter after this. See if I can be a vocalist.
Let's see if we can get them as guests on here.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
And then they can take over the podcast.
Horse the podcast. Does that work?
Yes. Dang, I should have said that as a podcast name.
Mm-hmm. Probably would have been better, honestly.
Yeah. Who thought of this name?
I don't know. Someone named Maddox. Maddox.
Modex.
Modex. Yep.
I probably should have been Maddox.
Yeah.
Better name.
I think it's I'm thinking of that because of the gun in Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, which comes out in 2 weeks or so.
Nice segue. Yes, it does. We can talk about that now.
So how much of Black Ops did you play? The different betas?
I played both betas. I played the multiplayer beta and the Blackout beta as much as I could in my busy schedule. And I'm not crazy about Call of Duty, but I usually play whatever new one they come out with.
Did
I really liked
play World at War at all when it came out?
No, I didn't play that. I take it back.
Okay.
I played the Black Ops games as they come out. And Black Ops 3 was super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Black Ops 4, also super fun. And the Blackout mode, their new Battle Royale thing, I was super hesitant on it. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but
I think everyone was super skeptical, just interested to know what it was going to be like.
But I think it's turning out to be probably my favorite BR shooter so far.
It's definitely a strong entry. Fortnite obviously is not going anywhere. Everyone, if you go on Twitch, it's like, oh, is this killing Fortnite, or is this, this is nowhere near Fortnite? It's like,
probably not.
It doesn't need to worry in the slightest.
But it fits my personal taste for. So the thing I've always been looking for in a BR game, like I played PUBG for a long time. I thought that was pretty good, but it kind of fell off for me because it's just like kind of janky and like rubber bandy and stuff like that.
Right.
And then Fortnite came out and it's super tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little goofy, but that's fine. But I was always, since I played those two games, I was looking for a BR that had a really good first person module, like just really tight first person quick gameplay. And when Call of Duty was like, we're doing Battle Royale, I was like, that could be good. It could also be weird, but it turned out to be, I really liked it.
Yeah. Do you think you would have liked it if it was a third person mode? The exact same thing, just third person instead.
I don't know. I do like third person shooters, but if it was like over the shoulder, like Fortnite, I don't really like that style necessarily.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a huge third person shooter fan.
Yeah, I think it's better in first person, for sure. For sure.
It's just something I thought about afterwards. It's like I wasn't really paying attention, but it's entirely first person. Which, if you watch like Fortnite, it's entirely third person. PUBG has a little of both, depending on what you want to play.
Yeah, they added the first person mode. I like that it's only first person because when it comes to third person, there's a lot of just like squatting and looking around corners, which can slow the game down a lot.
Right.
In my opinion.
That's definitely why I got away from it, because it's for you as a person that has the position, you can see around a corner, see if poke out a window. That's really nice because it's just you can just look without giving yourself away. But if you're on the receiving end, it makes it way harder.
Yeah, it's a huge disadvantage. Yeah. And the reason I like first person more is because if you do want to look around a corner, like you have to take the risk to get information or a lined up shot.
Yeah, and there's not even leaning in this, which I don't know if people really realized. You can't peek at all. You have to fully expose yourself. I mean, you can crouch and prone, but
yeah,
you're still very obvious. Someone's looking. Yeah,
it's overall super fun. If there are any cons to it, it'd probably be. Oh, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's like when the BR mode came out, it's super fun, but I was honestly disappointed I couldn't keep playing the multiplayer beta because
you're just mad because you want to play the entire game.
Yeah, it's like I like the BR mode, but I like Call of Duty for the multiplayer. I put in several hundred hours in Black Ops 2, which is like my first one. I know Modern Warfare 2 and whatever, COD 4 is big for people, but I didn't get into shooters until super late in life, which is kind of weird because that's all I play now.
That is weird. I didn't know that about you.
It wasn't until like I started speedrunning, I started playing shooters on PC because I had a family PC which didn't have a graphics card really that could play anything. And when I got my laptop, it, like I said, it ran Minecraft at 15 frames.
Was that your first gaming? Did you have a console when you were a kid?
I had like N64 and stuff, but it was like platformers and puzzle games, and it had shooters, but it's like playing shooters on console even then was just like it's a terrible experience. Trying to move and aim. Yeah.
Even GoldenEye is just like nostalgia. If you play GoldenEye now, you're like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's
at least
pretty bad.
I think so. I probably pissed off a lot of people saying
I are white goose.
He's not watching this.
No, he doesn't watch anyone.
That's surprising to me though, knowing you.
Yeah, because
that's interesting.
So I played Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and then World War 2. Like I said, several hundred hours in each of them. I just love the multiplayer. I know a lot of people don't for whatever reason, but I just like to be able to hop in a match and just shoot people without thinking. I don't have to try hard. Like CSGO, everyone tries hard all the time, and it's like it gets stressful, and I don't have to do that.
And there's less of a team stress. It's like your team can be kind of shitty. You can actually carry pretty hard on your own.
Yeah, it's like if I go in PUBG, I don't do solo squad. Like I don't squad up with people if I don't know them. But then if I play solo, I'm like super stressed out. I get super paranoid playing solo in PRs.
I don't play solo PRs ever because I'm like, fuck, I am,
It's like in the beginning of the match, I'm fine. But once it gets like top 20, I start getting like super paranoid. I'm just like looking everywhere. I don't know what to do. I just want to sit still. With like friends, I can like feel more comfort, and it's just
more fun, lighthearted.
Yeah, I'm not taking it as seriously.
Accidentally run each other over and then still win.
And accidentally throw a grenade at somebody in the face, which is
accidentally throw a grenade at yourself.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You can just laugh about it and have fun.
Yeah, when we were playing squads, the games where we accidentally ran each other over with ATVs and killed each other, we won.
Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, sorry for running you over, but I got you a win.
I'm sorry for running DeGaulle over, but it happens.
Yeah.
I swear he ran right in front of me. But yeah, I also zombies. Looking forward to that because I really like that about Black Ops 3. Mostly because I like co-op PvE in really any game.
I like zombies for exploring the maps, and that lasts like, I don't know, an hour, and then I get super bored of it. It's
understandable.
Essentially, the end goal for zombies is just to find a spot where you can kite them, just run around in a circle and kill all the zombies, and just keep doing that forever.
True.
And it's like, once you get past wave 30, even if you get there, it's like you're just doing the exact same thing. Just running in a circle, trying not to get hit.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's a decent addition to have. At least they have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the Easter eggs.
For sure.
They've gotten so dumb. The ones for, like, at least in World War II, because I know Treyarch is the main zombie team. So World War II is Sledgehammer Games, I think.
It's a team made of zombies.
Well, they're the ones that did all the zombies in Black Ops 2 and stuff. The ones people love. But like World War II, there's an Easter egg, which wasn't too hard. But then there's like a secret hidden Easter egg, which is like the full map thing. And it required like finding like a 1 pixel white dot you had to shoot in the sky and stuff. It's like, it's not Even looking up like a video to follow, it's like I don't want to do that.
It's like, this is too much work. I'd rather just watch the video.
Yeah, it's when there's something like not an Easter egg and more like you literally can't figure this out because it's
Yeah, it gets a little weird.
only if you know it's there will you know it's there. It's,
So I heard that the tick rate for Blackout, or I guess Call of Duty, maybe not the multiplayer, maybe it's only Blackout. I think the tick rate's like 10 or something really low until it's like the final 20 players and it goes up to 20.
really?
So people started talking about how they were experiencing like they were hitting people, but it wasn't like registering. And then somebody, I forget who the guy's channel is or who it is, but he was like, "Yeah, the tick rate's really really low, but it is the beta, so hopefully that improves in the servers." I didn't really notice that. I just kind of chalked that up to me being bad.
Yeah, I mean,
But
every now and then you get into a lobby that was just completely laggy.
yeah,
Even if you
there
had
were
decent ping,
terrible servers.
yeah, but you just backed out into a new one, it was fine. But yeah, 10. I'd like to see those. How you found that information? That's super
I'll
low.
look it up.
Tick
I'll
rate.
bring it once the game comes out. We'll check the tapes.
Yeah, it comes out 2 Fridays from now, the 12th,
Yes,
I think.
not next Friday, but the Friday after that.
A little controversial topic. Did you pre-order?
No, because you should never pre-order games.
I pre-ordered it.
Don't ever pre-order shit.
I usually pre-order things I know I'm gonna spend time in, regardless if it's good or bad. So
Yeah,
I can have it downloaded beforehand.
No,
that's why
there's no reason to pre-order something that's not gonna have a limited stock when it's gonna be there for you on release.
But I
Just
need to get in the servers at midnight or 3 p.m. whenever it decides to launch. I need to be racing for that prestige. Okay.
Just download it.
Whatever. You know, some people have bad internet, man. Not everyone has gigabit internet.
You gotta never pre-order and don't buy season passes because you gotta wait for the developer to pull some stupid bullshit like EA Dice Battlefront 2. Like before that game came out, people were realizing all the microtransaction bullshit they're trying to pull. And if you pre-ordered that game, then you're like, "Oh shit, this game's gonna suck now." And it still sucked regardless. But
yeah, I had a coworker at my old job that got into Battlefront 2 after like a month after it had come out, so all that stuff was kind of settled. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's fun. I spent all this time unlocking this character." I was like, "That doesn't sound like fun."
No, it's really bad. The progression system's still terrible.
And he's like, "Oh, this new DLC character's coming out, but I'm gonna have to spend 20 hours to unlock him." I'm like, "That is terrible. I don't want that."
It takes dozens of hours to unlock guns for classes that you should just have and abilities. Star cards. I don't know if you know what star cards are in that game, but you can equip
like a currency.
No, well, there is currency, but star cards are ability buffs, and these star cards have 4 tiers of quality that you have to unlock over time. They used to be they used to be in loot boxes, but they removed that. But it basically buffs your players with your abilities.
Did they ever add loot boxes back in?
They did. All it has in them is emotes, victory poses, and skins maybe, but the skins are so boring and dumb.
Because I knew when they said they took it out, they were going to put them back in at some point, but I never kept up with it to know if they actually did.
I'm making a video about it on my Saintmillion channel.
Oh my god.
Which is gonna tear it apart.
Look forward to that. Yeah.
Black Ops 4. It's a pretty good game. Consider buying it after it comes out.
Most of the time when I pre-order something, it's like a single player game, like a Prey or Doom, but I buy it like a few days beforehand. So everything people are talking about, it's already been discussed, and I know I'm going to play it. So I just like for the download because I start playing it like when it comes out.
In Black Ops case, it's fine. It'll be the game that it is.
It's EA.
They suddenly
it's Activision rather. Get that right. So it's going to have microtransactions. It's going to have loot boxes or whatever.
As long as it doesn't affect gameplay.
It won't at first, I'm sure. If it goes by the Black Ops 3 route, they'll just have cosmetics, but eventually, season pass wise, it'll probably have a gun or new weapon in it.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
No.
Usually when the first
when the first DLC for COD comes out, that's pretty much when it's dead anyway. So I think
Nice.
someone
Great.
said for Blackout though they want to have a 10-year length for the game.
Whoa.
Yeah, even supporting it
maybe.
for more than a year is kind of weird if they plan on continuing the dev cycle. It's 3 studios making one every 3 years, so it's Treyarch. I already forgot the other one. Sledgehammer. Some other studio, but they just like rotate through each one.
Right.
That's why you have like the Black Ops line, and then you have Infinity War or Infinite Warfare. Modern. I don't. There's
Infinity
so many
War
games.
Part 2.
Yeah. So hyped for that.
Yeah.
Something completely different, but
yeah, I can't wait to see that. I wonder where BRs are going to be in 10 years in general.
I mean,
like, is Fortnite still going to be?
What's a genre from 10 years ago that's still around?
Minecraft.
Is Minecraft 10 years ago? It's like 7, 6,
almost
8.
I played it in 2009 to 2010.
I played it in 2011.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's almost 10 years, but that's not a genre. That's like a game.
Minecraft is a genre.
It might as well be. There's so many mods. It's almost a genre.
I mean, there's like Roblox and Starbound. That's more like Terraria. So many random games.
Yeah, I don't know. Shooters have lasted a while.
Yeah, I mean, they were one of the first big ones. Doom.
That's probably like the longest lasting genre other than
what would you consider Pong? Is that just a retro?
Pong is a real-time strategy game.
Oh, that's been around forever then. It's still going these days.
Yes. Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know.
Is that an RTS?
I'm just saying words.
Well, I think another game that comes out next Friday is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know if you're big on Assassin's Creed at all.
Not really.
I haven't played any of them, but I want to play this one.
Why is that?
Because it's I just like the themes. Ancient Rome.
That's the
Egyptian
Egyptian
Greece.
one.
No, that's Origins that came out last.
All these fucking names.
Yeah, and I heard good things about that, and people say this one looks like that one.
Okay.
So it's like, I like what they showed. I like the world. I heard good things about the last one, so.
This one is Rome.
Yep. It's ancient Greece and all that stuff.
That is one of my favorite.
They teach like a Minotaur at the end.
What?
Hey, you didn't watch E3?
No.
Oh, wow.
I did, but I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you can play as a male or female. That's the big twist for this game. It's kind of weird.
My God.
Shocking.
You could play as a male? That's fucking sexist.
Yeah, I know. I mean, who would want to play as a male? Like, ever?
The only Assassin's Creeds I've ever played were 1 and 2. There were like 3 with Ezio or something. I played 1 with Ezio. And then I played with a friend, Black Flag. That was actually a pretty cool game.
That's the pirate sailing
Yeah,
one.
that was pretty dope. I didn't finish it though, but it was pretty cool. There's a lot of Assassin's Creeds.
There's just like that whole genre of game that I just never got into.
Yeah, well, it's like the same game every time, just like theme is different. Feels like, because the story of those games died with like the second one. Like the guy who made the original Assassin's Creed, he had a trilogy story like in mind, but when they made the like third or fourth one, they basically told him to fuck himself, and they made like some crazy ass series of stories after that. And one of my good friends who loves those first few games, he always brings that up. He's like, they fucking got rid of the original writer. Now the story's shit. Now they just make the same thing.
Right.
I'm like, maybe shut up. I don't know. I don't care. They're just cool assassiny things. I love any game where you get to assassinate people. I like sneaking.
Yeah,
sneaking's super fun.
I mean, I guess it's not really the same as the Uncharted series, but it's kind of similar mechanics. No. This is the way I've always seen it. Like, you can kind of stealth around and like jump and climb the stuff.
Yeah, that'll always be kind of one of the big things. Parkour in everywhere. Uncharted's more linear in where you jump and
it's not as open world, which is a terrible genre.
That's why I don't like Uncharted games. I might as well just watch a movie.
I mean, there is an Assassin's Creed movie.
Well, there we go. Done. I'm sure it's really good.
I heard it wasn't, actually.
Well, movie night. Assassin's Creed.
You gonna review it?
Yeah, definitely.
I heard
Can't
it wasn't good at all.
I love.
I'm excited to see how it is. I don't know.
Yeah, is it on PC?
It is. Comes out.
Then I'll pre-order
all 3. Yeah, pre-order. You can do it right now. I think it was the last one, Origins. It had like 17 different versions you could buy. There's like the deluxe, enhanced, and deluxe,
how do I
enhanced,
pick?
and ultimate. And some of them, the versions that even come with the game. Came with like a statue and all this stuff, but you didn't get the game with it. I don't know.
Some people, maybe they just want that.
There's like $1,000 version you can buy of just random shit. I don't know.
Yo, Black Flag is only $20 on Steam.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Might play that.
Yeah, it's like if this one's good, I might go back and play the others, but I don't know. We'll see. Because the week after that, we have Black Ops 4, as we said. I'll just be playing that for.
And then you won't have any time.
No, I'll be.
Pre-purchase Assassin's Creed Odyssey Ultimate.
Oh, he's doing it.
$120.
Which version is that, though?
Jesus. Enhance your Assassin's Creed Odyssey experience with the Ultimate Edition, including the game, the Deluxe Pack, and the Season Pass.
Wow, Season's Pass for Assassin's Creed?
I can't think of a more useless thing to spend your money on. The Season's Pass for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Speaking of Season Passes.
Okay.
I was going to bring up Telltale, unless you wanted to talk more about Assassin's
I'll go for
Creed.
it.
So if you have a Season's Pass for any Telltale games, you probably have heard by now that they're dead. And they massively laid off a bunch of people.
They're not quite dead yet.
They're not dead.
They're still going to try to finish Walking Dead, which is the series I don't care about.
So here's the thing. They weren't going to try to finish Walking Dead, but other developers are trying to contact them to help them finish it. So they're not doing anything. They only have 25 employees right now to keep the company name or whatever to like satisfy investors. But yeah, they laid off over 225 employees last week, all of a sudden with no warning. I think one story you brought up was they had like 30 minutes to get their stuff and leave.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a story, if it was someone on Twitter, like one of the employees. There's been tweets flying all over the place saying they were told they had 30 minutes to pack up their stuff and that they're no longer had a job.
Yeah, so one of the employees has filed a class action lawsuit against Telltale because they violated labor laws with the WARN Act, which basically says you need to be giving people 60 days or so of advance notice, or else you face significant financial penalties. And they didn't give any sort of notice. In fact, they were hiring a week before they laid people off.
Nice.
Which is pretty bad.
Are they a US-based company? Oh, I thought.
Yeah, they're in California.
Okay. It's always weird to know where studios are. Yeah, it's super sad that Wolf Among Us is not going to get the sequel that they.
That one was super cool.
Yep.
I didn't care much for Walking Dead, but Wolf Among Us was pretty neat. I watched my friend play it.
Yeah, I played it at some point. I've watched many other people play it, and I have the Fables like novel. When I bought that.
Fables is cool.
Yeah, and eventually they said they were going to make a season 2, which everyone was hoping for, and then hadn't heard anything else on it, and now this news. So it's like, well,
yeah. So that's a weird situation.
You guys want to help my Kickstarter? I'm going to buy the IP.
Probably could.
And then you guys can pre-order it. So
yeah,
essentially what my Kickstarter is going to be. Just pre-order my game. I don't own the IP rights to.
You want to talk about Joaquin Phoenix?
Sure.
He's the Joker. The end.
Oh, man.
And his makeup looks really dumb.
Can we rewind like 10 minutes and back to Assassin's Creed so it can make a transition?
Oh, yeah.
Gladiator.
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm sure there's gladiators in Assassin's Creed. You know who was in Gladiator? Joaquin Phoenix is playing the Joker.
You know who else was in Gladiator? The Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they revealed his makeup, I guess.
Well, TMZ put out, I guess they had footage from on set of him walking out of a train station or something. I'll try to find footage of it, but
the director posted this photo. I just DM'd it to you of Joaquin Phoenix on set in like a different costume. He looks like a weird Bozo the Clown kind of situation going on.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like that. Try to get this. I'm excited for the movie because of the way he looks. I think it looks cool. But at the same time, I know the movie's not gonna be good.
Yeah, I like Joaquin Phoenix, and he's awesome, and the Joker's cool, but considering what DC's been making and their direction for like dark shit, it's like probably gonna be. I hope it's good.
I do, but it's even if it's good, it's like I would then want that Joker to be in the DC universe, which it's not going to be. They've said it's a standalone.
Yeah.
It's like if we go back to the DC universe and it has Jared Leto's Joker, it's like he's gonna look like that.
Hey, remember me?
He's gonna look just that much worse. I don't want to go back to. I think David Ayers, the director of Suicide Squad, recently came out and said he like went too far with all the tattoos and stuff, and it was a bad choice. Which, you know,
sure,
somebody should have told him that in production.
Yeah, like everyone on the internet was telling him when the first photo came out. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, everyone thought either it was just like fake, like he
photoshopped.
He like wanted to have the tattoos in the movie. Or it was like something Harley Quinn like tattooed on him for some reason, but it's just that's how he is.
Also, like, why are there standalone movies for villains now?
Because DC doesn't know what they're doing.
Even like Venom, is that out yet?
No, comes out soon.
Who asked for a Venom movie? Why couldn't it just be a SpiderMan movie with Venom?
I mean, that's just Sony trying to cash in on the fact that SpiderMan is now big.
Yeah.
And they're like, we still own the rights, but we
so many comic book things always happening.
It's like I want Venom to be good too because I like the Venom character. I think everyone kind of does, but
oh yeah,
it looks exactly like every 2000s comic book movie. It looks like Daredevil. It looks like
I was about to say like Daredevil, Punisher. Well, Punisher was decent.
Yeah, I still like the movie. It's bad, but I like it. But it looks like Catwoman.
It's good, bad. Catwoman featuring Halle Berry.
Yeah, one of those just terrible, terrible movies. That may be like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's the editing.
I feel like the Joker movie, this new standalone, is gonna be like totally opposite mood and theme of the Shazam movie they're making.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that trailer. It's like wacky hijinks comedy time.
A lot of people like that trailer. I didn't.
It's because it looks like Marvel.
I mean, I don't know.
When I watched that, I was like, wait, this is a DC movie. What the fuck?
And I think it's supposed to be in the same universe too, which their whole universe is fucked up right now because Cavill's leaving Superman.
Oh, is he? Oh, well, fuck.
I don't know if it's been officially confirmed, but I think there's been rumors for the past couple weeks, and I think they're saying the insiders are saying he's leaving.
Well,
Ben Affleck's been wanting out for a long time as Batman, so
it's unfortunate because I like both those actors. Just the movies they get put in are super shitty.
I think the thing with Ben Affleck as Batman is he was going to make the Batman movie, like his standalone. He was going to like write and direct it, and they took those away from him, so he's just going to star in it. And he's like, well, I want to do more than just that, so I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
He wants out of it. But
when I saw Batman v Superman, all I really thought from that movie was like, I kind of want to just see like a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. With like a good Joker.
I just want to see a good movie.
I just want a good movie. I don't want a comic book movie for the sake of comic book movies.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
For
I
Star Wars,
I
just want good movies.
I didn't watch BVS at all. I didn't
Good.
watch Man of Steel. I watched Suicide Squad, Justice League.
I never saw Suicide Squad or Justice League. I saw Batman vs Superman, and then I just skipped those.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite, actually.
I'm done giving them money for things.
Yeah, I want them to be good because I want them to push Marvel to do even higher stuff. Because I think they can.
Yeah, like competition's good, but I don't know if you're giving competition.
Oh, absolutely not. They're falling to pieces. It's just all executives saying, "Hey, kids like this thing, put it in your movie," and then
Sure.
that's. I don't know if you ever read the hacked Sony emails.
No.
Whenever it came out years and years ago, it was like stuff about SpiderMan and different stuff. But they wanted like SpiderMan to have like EDM in the background. EDM was big in the day. Yeah.
They did that with the movie Jamie Foxx was in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Electro.
The Ultra Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man, I think.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I didn't watch either of those.
Fuck, that movie was so stupid.
Yeah, I watched the trailers and then I like watch what people say about it, and if those don't entice me, then I'm just like, hey, I'm not gonna watch it.
The only cool thing about that movie was the last scene where his girlfriend fucking dies.
Oh, Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, she like slams her head on the ground.
Yeah, like I've seen that shot of her in the elevator shaft or whatever. He grabs her and she like snaps.
Yeah, he like barely saves her and just like. Yeah. I was like, oh, that was brutal. That's the only thing I remember.
I mean, there's like pivotal parts in the comics which I've read some of, but not all of. And it's always bittersweet for those to be in the movies. It's like, oh, this is a pivotal part for this movie, but I know there's not going to be a sequel or a universe to further explore it. It's just like this one part happened. Like that.
For sure.
You can do so much more with it.
Well, luckily we have Aquaman and Wonder Woman coming. Oh, what?
Is Wonder Woman? Yeah, she's getting a second movie. But even Aquaman, people really like that trailer too, and I didn't like it.
I did not like it at all. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what is this?
I think their standalone movies are going to do better than their crossover ones that they've been doing, which is why they're doing like the Joker. They want to do some others, but there's a part in the Aquaman trailer when him and whatever the female the movie's called, I always forget her name, but they're in an underwater spaceship, and I don't understand it. And no one that's reviewed the trailer points it out that there's a scene where they're going through Atlantis in an underwater spaceship, and they both can breathe underwater, and I'm assuming they can swim fast in water as well. I don't know if that's...
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know why they need the spaceship. And it confuses me. So I just want to see another trailer to see if that pops back up.
Why are they in a spaceship underwater?
Yeah, I don't get it. I think I tweeted out and like some people respond to, but it's like
maybe it's exhausting swimming.
I mean, he's Aquaman. He's got to stay in shape. He's cultural. He's all buff.
Their spaceship is are you talking about the tiny little ship or like the big submarine?
The tiny little ship. The submarine I understand because it's like they invade the submarine or something and fight people. Sure. I think that's what's going on, and it's been a while.
Writing something that looks similar to the bongo from episode 1, which is terrible.
Is that a Star Wars thing?
Star Wars episode 1.
Okay, yes. Gotcha. The Phantom
Menace. You don't have to watch that one. Yes, the Phantom
Menace. I have watched it. I've watched all the main series Star Wars movies, but
the originals?
I have watched the originals. I have them VHS.
Yeah. Fact. Those are the only good
box set.
Man.
But Ant-Man and the Wasp, did you watch that? Marvel
I did not.
Masterpiece. Oh.
I haven't seen any Ant-Man movies.
You didn't watch the first one? Wow, that's the first one I liked. No, but the second one after like Infinity War obviously was a great movie.
I like that one.
This is supposed to take place as Infinity War is going on, and it kind of like leads into it, but it felt like a huge step back. there's been a great track record of Marvel movies lately, like Black Panther, which is I still thought was kind of okay.
It was
Hot
okay.
take.
Not the greatest movie of all
But
time.
like Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War, and then this felt like going back to like, I don't know, Iron Man 2. Not as bad as Iron Man 2, but like that quality.
Was this like Thor 2?
It's not Thor 2. It's not
Thor 2 was bad.
It's not Captain America 2 either.
Which one was that? Was that Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Winter Soldier. The one everyone thinks is the best.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Remember when everyone said Black Panther was the most important, greatest movie of all time?
Did they say that?
A lot of people said that.
I mean, it's basically The Lion King with terrible CGI.
You'd be surprised how many people
I'm sure.
hailed that movie. They're like, this is the most important, inclusive movie about race ever.
I think it was an important step, but I don't think it was. I don't want to start throwing the race card around, but I don't think it was the greatest movie for that. There's plenty of other movies that.
It's just a superhero movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for, like black kids growing up to be like, oh, there's a superhero like me now. Like,
that's true.
As like Wonder Woman and now Captain Marvel, which I guess we can talk about as well. It's like having that female character.
Oh yeah, that's
right. Look up to.
So I've never even heard of Captain Marvel up until this movie was in production. I'm not big into comics in general, but when I heard about Captain Marvel, I was like, wow, they're really digging for like any old hero that people don't know about.
Yes and no. She's in the comics. I don't know. She's not the biggest deal in the world, but she is a pretty important character. Captain Marvel has been
got the Marvel in the name,
as every other character has been many different people. Like Spider-Man's been Peter Parker and Miles Morales. But this is, I guess, the Carol Danvers version. It's cool.
Okay.
So I've read some comic books and I know a lot, but I haven't read all of them. So I don't know everything behind it. But it looks interesting. I thought the trailer was I'm hyped for the movie, but the trailer itself didn't really sell me on it.
I like the part where she punches an old woman.
I think it's everyone's favorite part.
Apparently it's like the Skrulls are invading or something.
So
and they can shapeshift. So
everyone's wondering where they're going to go for phase 4, and that seems to be the way. There's Secret Invasion, I believe it's called, where the Skrulls take on the identity of other heroes and other characters.
Yeah.
And it's just figuring out who's what.
Oh, that fits with Infinity War too.
Right. So it's, who knows how they're going to quite set it up, but basically Infinity War could set it up to where anybody's a Skrull going in the phase 4 and other characters dying and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to take place in the 90s, so it's quite a prequel for everything else.
Yeah. So you're a big watcher of Marvel shows. Is this correct?
You like the TV shows?
Yeah, like Luke Cage. Like what's the coolest TV show that's coming out recently? Because I know there's some new things coming out, like the new Luke Cage season. Is that recent?
The most recent is Iron Fist season 2, which came out like 3-4 weeks ago, something like that, beginning of this month. Luke Cage came out back in July, I think.
Okay, so that was
August, yeah. And Daredevil season 3 is rumored for the end of the year, probably like November, which is cool. That's the one everybody wants the most. Have you watched any of them?
I watched like the first couple episodes of Luke Cage. I don't watch any TV, pretty much ever. So
Luke Cage
I'm in the dark.
Or
season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. I don't watch Netflix that much.
Right.
I don't have much time.
I don't watch them. I don't watch a lot of Netflix unless it's one of these shows. And then as soon as it comes out, I binge watch all the episodes back to back.
Well, that's the way to do it.
It is until you're awake for 20 plus hours and you're like half asleep and you're halfway through the season. You're like, I want to keep watching, but I'm so tired. Which for Iron Fist season 2,
you make coffee and keep watching.
Yeah. I don't like coffee, so
What the fuck? Only Monster.
I've just been drinking tons of water lately. Huge caffeine
Oh,
kick.
good.
Which also it's
Yeah.
like I started kicking caffeine right when it came out, so I was just like super tired all the time. But I forced myself to stay awake. I think it's 12 episodes,
Damn.
which is basically just 12 hours
What a lord.
from 3 p.m. It's like, oh my god. By the end of it, I was like, I don't even care what's going on right now. I want it to be done. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it, but if you haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil anything, and it's kind of hard to.
You're talking Iron Fist, right?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you think? So this is season 2, right?
Yes.
What'd you think of the first season?
I liked it more than a lot of people did. A lot of people absolutely hate it. They think it's one of the worst. Which it does have some problems. It was not directed well. A lot of the fight scenes are very choppy and cut up. They don't like the character. They want him, like, everyone has a perception of a character going into it. Like, this is the comic books. We know, we love. It has to be like this or we don't like it. And they kind of took a different approach where he wasn't this master martial artist. He was still kind of a kid that had to come back to society and understand everything. And he's kind of gotten there, but even still, he's just kind of naive and it can get really annoying. When you're like, how can you be this dumb? But then you realize he's not been in society for 15 years or something like that. He's been training with monks and killing dragons. He's the immortal Iron Fist.
I might watch it, just cause.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck it. Watch an episode tonight.
I think if you do it like weekly, that might just drag it out more.
I'll just tack it onto my weekly Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, so the first season's not great, but he gets better in Defenders when they all come together, and he has a brief cameo in Luke Cage season 2, and he's really great in that. And in this one, it's okay. People really like this season. I thought it was just kind of again, but
you're such a contrarian.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I'm always in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's like if people are super excited, it's like I liked it, but I don't think it's that great. And if people really hate him, like it's not that bad. It's like people go to extremes. They either love something or hate it. I'm just like, I liked it.
It's a race to have the most extreme opinion.
Yeah, it's
like
especially on the internet. If you play middle of the road, people will just hate, like they won't even talk to you. It's like you either have to love it or you have to hate it.
Yeah.
They'll either talk to you about why they hate it and love it, or they'll fight you about why you're wrong.
That's what I do.
If you're in the middle, it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do with Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Oh man.
If you're in the middle, I'm like, all right, it's fine. If you loved it, I'm like, all right, it's fine. I'm just not going to respect your opinion anymore.
What if you hate it?
If you hate it, then I'm buying you a beer.
All right. I'll take a beer, please.
All right, here's a few drops of Rolling Rock left.
There's so many issues with that movie.
There really are. It's hilarious.
So, are they making? When's the next Star Wars movie coming out?
Next Christmas.
Next Christmas? That's episode 9.
Yes.
Okay. So I know they had like the
19.
They freeze the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, I think, right?
They did.
Yeah.
They totally were like, ooh, Solo's not doing so well because it didn't do so well.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's not do this Obi-Wan thing right now. I think Star Wars is slowly, like, they expect it to be like Marvel where it just has a constant stream of things, but they're realizing like they don't make good anything. Yeah. Star Wars, like, they just keep making bad stories with uninteresting characters doing stupid things and just expecting Star Wars to, like, the fact that Star Wars like keep it up. But Star Wars is only popular because the originals were good with really cool characters who had cool story arcs. And the new movies suck.
I think what a lot of companies fail to realize about Marvel is they have all these characters that have their own movies and sequels leading up to an event.
Yeah, and they were all good.
You can't start with a pretty lengthy narrative already, and then branch out and bring all these characters in. It has to kind of start that way.
You know what? DC kind of did that backwards, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Like they were like, and here's a couple movies in the Justice League.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
was like,
even
whoa,
even
calm down.
BVS, it's like they threw in all the cameos for Wonder Woman, Flash.
Yeah, they just like threw everyone in. Like, oh, by the way, here's everybody.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa, you should probably take your time.
It's like even the Mummy tried to do that with Dr. Jekyll. I didn't watch the movie, but I heard about it. And they had
the Dark Universe.
Yeah, the Dark Universe, which
that got canceled.
Actually, I love those characters, like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Van Helsing and stuff. But
in theory, it sounds like it would have been cool.
All those universes, in theory, sound amazing. But then you realize who's producing, who's starring. It's like I don't want to.
Then you realize that the people in charge of the most critical decisions are like just people at the top who don't make movies or care.
Yeah, they don't give directors enough chances.
Yeah,
on a limb and try stuff.
And then you say that, and then Star Wars gives Rian Johnson all the chances to do whatever he wants, and then he does the most weird shit, and it sucks. And then you're like, oh god,
it pisses off.
Even if you give a director, even if you give directors a chance, then they can also fuck up. But I'd rather that happen than just have boring nothing. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and the comparison, just going back to Marvel, it's like they gave directors chances on a specific character, a specific movie. It's like they didn't 3 sequel. I mean, I guess Thor Ragnarok was kind of Taika Waititi's chance, and he nailed it. But
I loved Thor Ragnarok. Like, it was weird in a really cool way.
People have issues with it, with like Hulk talking, and I even have some problem with some of the humor near the end. It just kind of felt out of place, but
yeah, a little bit. But it was fun.
It's still a good movie.
I had a very good time during that movie.
I know Kevin Feige gets all the credit for like hiring people or whatever, but the actual people that go into the hiring of actors and like directors and stuff, I think it's forget what I think it's a female that is the hiring director. She's amazing at her job.
Nice.
And they probably pay her pretty damn well at this point.
Hell yeah. Get her on Star Wars.
It's like everyone in the MCU is like perfectly cast.
Lucky.
Yeah. That's why everyone wants to be in a Marvel movie.
Because they're set for life.
Oh, yeah.
What else is going on? Bill Cosby?
Yeah, Bill Cosby.
Speaking of raping franchises, Disney, I don't know. Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
he got sentenced
3 to 10 years in prison, which is kind of
weird. What does that mean? Anywhere from 3 to 10. It's like, whoa, what? Just have one number, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they still have to. I didn't read too much into it, but it was 60 plus accusers. The headline I saw, which is there's 60 people coming out and saying it. I think 3 to 10 years is a little light. Maybe like 3 to 10 years for each accused.
Granted, like, were those all proven, or
I don't know.
I have no idea how that all went. But if you got sentenced,
I'm sure we're absolutely wrong on this, but
yeah,
somebody will let us know.
I'm sure if he got sentenced, there was at least something that was true.
Yeah. There's probably another hearing or another date where they'll like define exactly what it is, or maybe they have. I don't know.
I think it's.
But I think at this point he's actually like in prison.
Look at us. We didn't even do our research. Yeah, he is in prison right now. They're in a process where they're trying to figure out what prison's best for him, based on his age, his health, and they have to do something called a sexually violent predator assessment to determine something else, and then they'll pick a prison for him, and that takes anywhere from weeks to several months, apparently. Now, I guess that's included in his term.
I just want to see, for his prison, he's just put inside a giant thing of Jell-O every day, And his meal is the Jello. He has to eat his way out every day. And like if he eats out faster, he can enjoy rec time for the rest of the day. And then the next morning they throw him into a big thing of Jello again.
Eat all the Jello, and then work it all off.
Yep.
His blood sugar is just through the roof.
Well, I mean, if that becomes a thing, I might go to jail. That sounds
what a
fun.
massive what a free meals. What a massive burn that would be if they just added Jello to every one of his meals. I don't know if that would be a burn or just irony or funny.
I don't know if they have Jello in jail. I don't really know much about prison. I know jail and prison are two separate things. I keep interchanging them.
I typed in prison and Pornhub just popped up.
It says a lot.
Prison food is what I was trying to search. Prison meals.
Any Jello you see?
Let's see. There's fruit juice, optional coffee, canned fruit, cereal.
Yeah, cereal.
One biscuit and some country gravy. Bunch of butter. Cornbread.
I think I was.
Cake.
I don't think
cake.
it was cake. Sugar-free cake. I was fried rice. I don't think it had anything to do with this case. I don't remember. Something on Reddit the other night. Was talking about just it wasn't food in prison, but it was like people being in prison that were either overweight or underweight. Apparently if you're diagnosed as being underweight, they give you like 2 servings of everything, and they force you to eat as much as you can until you gain like 30 pounds. Which is kind of crazy.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they want you to be average weight probably.
But then if you're overweight, you get a special diet tray. That's different.
That's gotta suck so bad. Here you go, fatty. Here's one piece of cornbread.
Here's some Jello.
It's like, no.
I haven't had cornbread in years.
There's this one plate that's just a slice of bread, baked beans, and 2 hot dogs with no buns.
Damn. That's not too bad, I guess.
That's like a meal it's like a meal my dad gave me when he went to go get cigarettes. He's like, here you go. Here's some hot dogs on a plate.
That's all we have left. Eat up.
I'll be back. He's still coming back.
Yeah. I think that's it's a good spot to wrap up on a depressing note.
Yeah.
For this week.
That's how we should end every podcast, with like a murderer, not a murderer.
A murder?
A murder, a rapist getting sent to prison, and
it's kind of a high note, but then a depressing note that your dad is gone and not coming back.
Yeah, well,
he's in jail.
When life gives you lemons,
make Jello lemonade.
Eat a bunch of Jello.
So thanks everybody for watching the I can't even say it. Blood Saint and Beers podcast.
The blades and blades.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister.
The BSB podcast. If you have any questions, send an email to bloodsaintandbeers@gmail.com.
Yep. Hopefully this will be on Spotify and iTunes at some point. And for anyone listening on those in the future, as it will be, there's a video version on the website, bloodsaintandbeers.com, and the YouTube channel, which I believe is Blood Saint Beers as well. But just search on YouTube and you can find it. And I'll wrap up this week's podcast. We'll be back next week. Maybe with the guest, maybe not. We'll figure it out.